What is going on, football fans? It's boy Lolo, and I'm here with Mark, of course. We are back on the Stoop for the second time today. We did our little lead show earlier today.
Early afternoon tea. A little high tea for you.
Of course, it's barely afternoon for us now.
Yeah.
That was early afternoon. That was
barely
noon.
afternoon.
That was noon, not afternoon. Anyway, welcome back to the recap show where we go over our weekend watch list matches and we run down all the action of that. And if we have time, we will get to all the other games, including the one that is ending as we speak. I think it ended.
Yeah, I'm sure
I would say Crystal Palace won. It looked like it was going that way.
Yeah. I really wanted to see Brighton at the top of the table so badly. It just would have been so fun.
That would have been a lot of fun to see Brighton finish at least.
Who would have thought? But we're not going to think it because we can't.
I mean, we can think it.
We could think
it. We didn't actually see the final whistle blow.
Is this a point where like the harps come out and like the clouds and it's a dream sequence?
Anyway, well, let's get to the show. Let's invite. 1-1.
Get out of here!
No way! No way!
Get out of here!
Mr. Tom says
that in like
ties,
2 minutes.
Malpe scored. Oh no!
Did you put him on your team today?
I
told you to put Malpe on.
He was terrible. He was terrible for the whole match.
I told you to put Malpe on.
He was terrible for the whole match, and yes, they did. They drew. Oh wow! So Brighton sitting at 6th place, and terrible Everton sitting at 5th place. Wow. All right, well, let's bring Naji in and see what Naji has to think about that.
Mind-blowing.
Naji, how's it going, man?
Good, guys. You?
Good. I really thought that Crystal Palace had that game in hand.
Yeah.
Hey, now we have 5 teams with 13 points. How about that for a start of the season?
I think it's fantastic.
That is fantastic. You are totally right. That's Man City, Chelsea, Man United, Everton, and Brighton all tied with 13 points, and Liverpool sitting pretty in first place with 14. That is
massive.
Crazy.
That massive lead.
That massive lead. And you know what? You know who's only 5 points out of first place?
Come on,
Arsenal. Man. Arsenal. 5 points out of first place.
We dedicated over an hour to that yesterday.
Many hours dedicated to that.
No, many drinks.
Many
1
drinks dedicated to that. It's like nice and cool out here, but I feel like all the mosquitoes have decided to come straight to here.
All the mosquitoes are Tottenham fans, and they're
trolling me. Bit me on my hand.
They're taking on their revenge.
Anyway, so Mark and I are really still floating, buzzing from this weekend. Naji, how are you feeling?
Good. I can't complain. We saw a lot of ups and downs. We saw some good teams that lost. We saw some surprises. We could start with Chelsea if you guys want.
I do want to start with Chelsea. Look, it was the first match of the weekend, besides the other one that they threw on at the same time. That Manchester team, but forget about them. Let's go to Chelsea losing to Manchester City 1-0 or 0-1. We all thought it was going to be Lukaku who came through and got that goal.
I didn't think City stood a chance.
I think Ruben Diaz took care of Lukaku. What's going on, BX? Good to see you on here. Karen C, twice in one day. How lucky are we?
We are very lucky.
Little Naji getting sad because he got to hear about how bad Chelsea were.
I don't think Chelsea was bad. I wouldn't say Chelsea was bad. I think City. I think Pep had a game plan and it worked.
Naji, tell us what happened.
Chelsea lost that game. City didn't win it. Okay. Here's what it is. Chelsea were timid and respected Man City too much, actually. They had one shot on target, and they couldn't play their game from the back. You know how Chelsea like to play balls from the back, and then you got 3 center backs, plays into midfield, Jorginho, Kante, Kovacic. It was tactically wrong to play them the 3 together. Although you would say, well, Naji, they played them against Spurs. The second half of against Spurs, and they won you the game. Well, it didn't work against City, and we really missed Mason Mount here in that game. But I have to give credit to City. They were solid. They up to beat. pressing Chelsea like crazy. Like they couldn't breathe. Chelsea couldn't breathe. Couldn't bring the ball from the back. And we had a couple of chances, a half chances, but we had one shot on target. So I can't be mad at that, you know.
So tell me, how the hell is that Chelsea losing and Man City not winning? Everything you said there, you couldn't breathe. That sounds like a team who's pressing very well and doing very, very well. Man City's hard to beat. That sounds like Man City beat y'all.
Okay, well, we beat City the last 3 games.
Yeah.
You got me? So we have the formula to beat them. We had the formula to beat them. They always played that way. Did City change playing that way? I mean, they're gonna play Liverpool next. It's gonna be the same. They're gonna press them high, but we showed them too much respect. Like we were doing long balls. Since when Chelsea started playing long balls? I haven't seen it before. Mendy was like shooting from the area. Like this was not Chelsea that was playing that game. You know, they took us off their game. We didn't play well. And I'm not mad because we've had...
I mean, I would be mad if I were you.
1-0 is a very respectable loss. I mean, it's not like you lost 3-0 or...
And oh my God, I mean, look, don't get me wrong. City missed a lot of chances, but the goal they scored was like, oh my good. It had to be between 3 players. It hit Jorginho and went to the bottom corner. Like,
yeah, what's up, Lewis?
It was a nifty little move, though.
It was.
He kind of spun around. I thought that was pretty nifty.
Yeah,
it was. And Mendy
especially in such a confined space.
Yeah. Listen, I hear what you're saying, and to me, a lot of it was like, what is Chelsea doing? Why would you invite that much pressure from Man City, who have, like, I feel Lukaku, Chelsea is much more like if you can take care of Lukaku, you can kind of take care of Chelsea's attack. But with Man City, they don't have that player. Like if you take care of, who did they have as striker? I think they had Bernardo Silva as their striker. That was their false 9, Foden?
Yeah, Phil Foden.
But see, they don't have just one person you can take care of. So when you're inviting that much pressure for the entire match, like...
I mean, there were certain aspects of City that they were not good. Like, I'm sorry, in my opinion, Foden was shit. Foden was absolutely terrible in that match. And if you're going to start and you're going to play, you got to play well. And especially against Chelsea. It just ended up working out for him.
And I understand, Naji, why you're not upset. Guys, you know, you got a day off. Like, it was a day off in the office, you know? It was a bad day in the office. You can't win every single game, you know? It was a tough game. We just beat City 3 times in a row. Nobody did that to Guardiola before.
Yeah, but that was before they had Jackie Boy. Maybe that's the difference.
That could very well be the difference maker.
Yeah, well,
he had a pretty good game.
Mendy was awesome on his 2. He was 1-on-1 with Mendy first, number 1, and then the second one, you know, the one from the close to the at the corner there, you know, when he hit it and Mendy barely touched it with his fingers and it went out for a corner kick.
Yeah.
Let's
but on the goal itself that he did let in, he seemed like he was just like stuck to the turf. He didn't even move
because he didn't expect it. Because it had a slight deflection, didn't it?
Yeah. But we guys forget that City won the league for the past you know twice in the last 3 years, and they won those 2 by like 30 something points and 12 points last year.
Yeah, look at Ben Ireland says, last week you said no one will beat Chelsea. This week, you can't win every game. Mr. 55, he's staying right there at the 55.
At least you're above.
He's staying right there in that.
We're getting to Leeds United anyway. That's fine.
Leeds United, I just got word from James that James is thinking about maybe coming up, visiting the Stoop for the Chelsea match. Because he wants to be out here on the Stoop with you watching that Chelsea match. So I was like, be careful. Naji's been working out. So
oh my goodness. I'll bring a little Naji with me.
Yeah, brings him back up.
You'll be fine.
Brings him back up. But listen, we all said this was going to be a low-scoring match. This could have easily ended up 0-0. Because I do think there was a little bit of a, like, there were better chances that were missed or saved than that one. That one was kind of like, that's the goal that goes in.
Right.
But I know I called it 1-0 to Chelsea. You called it 0-0.
I think I called it 0-0.
0-0.
I didn't.
0-0.
I think I
Naji said
did.
1-0.
1-0.
Yeah,
Yeah,
1-0.
So
Look,
at least this was very close to what we were expecting.
Welcome to the Losers Club,
look,
Naji. Yeah.
Ederson had nothing to do all game, but on a couple times when Lukaku, when you pass the ball to Lukaku and his back is to the goal and he turns and he goes one-on-one with the keeper, Laporte fouled him. He was very smart with it, but he got a yellow card for it. Laporte, he was going one-on-one with Ederson on that time,
Yeah.
Lukaku.
Yeah. But that's the intelligence of Manchester City players,
Yeah.
And also knowing that, like, if I have to sit out next game, like, that's fine. We have other players who are.
I just
very-
wanna remind everybody-
very few teams are as deep as City.
Yeah, and I just want to remind everybody, I said Laporte is going to be out in the weekend watch list. Aki is going to play, and I don't trust Aki. But Aki didn't play. Laporte and Diaz played in the middle of the defense.
And they were tough. They were tough.
Yeah.
Why didn't Mason Mount play?
Mason Mount wasn't fit.
Yeah,
Was
he
it
had a session injury. He got hurt during training.
Yeah, during training. And I felt every corner Man City got, they were dangerous. Every single corner was like a penalty for me. I was like, what's going? We have tall players, but between Diaz and Laporte, oh my goodness.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was scared.
That was crazy. That was crazy. Anything else you want to say about this match? I know Naji's like moving on. Move on to the next week.
If it was Cantac, it would have been moving on like 7 minutes ago.
Yeah, right. Look, we played. You want me to remind you who we played? Arsenal, Spurs, Liverpool, Man City in the first 6 games. And we got Southampton next. You could bet on that one.
Well, I don't know. Southampton drew with City. City drew with the Southampton. West Ham drew with Southampton. Southampton lost to these guys, but I think Southampton is losing to the worst teams and then playing up and drawing with the better teams. Yeah,
Worst
that's you.
Teams?
The worst, not with a T, the worst teams.
The worst teams?
Yeah.
Have they played?
I'm sorry, you guys are worse than Man City and Chelsea.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Okay. Yeah.
If they beat us, we're not as good as them either.
Right now,
I know who my club is.
You can book it for next weekend.
I ain't listening to you at all. No, I listen to you exactly 55% and nothing more. Naji. Moving on. Yeah. Next up, we have Leeds United versus West Ham United. This was a fantastically fun first half, I would say. The second half got a little not quite so fun.
I think it depends on who you're a fan of. If you're a Leeds fan, that first half was the best half they've played all season. If you're a West Ham fan, you love the ending because you got the
ending. But what I'm saying is the second half in a whole, the second half just wasn't as exciting to me. The first half was end to end, fucking ball busting, running their asses off. Rafinha was having a field day.
Yeah, players covering for both keepers and protecting the goal when keepers found themselves out of position. I saw that once for each team, almost in like the same sequence. That was pretty nail biting.
Both keepers had some saves. The goal was nice. There could have been more goals from both. Ben Rama could have had a goal or two in the first half. A slightly better cross, and Antonio would have got there. But I gotta say, there was good defending as well. I really liked what the young kid, the huge, massive kid that we were talking about earlier on the show, Cresswell. Who is, let's go.
You also know, they were playing Tottenham yesterday, right?
Yeah, and we beat the crap out of them, 3-1.
Wow.
We gave them one goal just so they wouldn't cry. Because, all right.
The way they stole that clean sheet from you made you cry.
It made me cry. I was angry. But Cresswell did a fantastic job, I thought, with Antonio for 92 minutes or something like that, and then
I think as Bobby Two Stoops said that it only takes 10 seconds.
But listen, as BX says, West Ham looked the real thing. I just think it was funny and odd that they drew with Southampton. That's where I don't know who Southampton is.
Yeah,
I feel
don't
like
think
they're
they,
terrible.
I don't think they know who they are.
But how do
They're
they get
not-
a draw against West
they're
Ham? How do they get
not-
a draw against? I don't know,
You-
because West Ham does look good. They look very good. Jared Bowen and Fornals look up for it.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Slappy Hansky is making a lot of saves.
Look,
I don't know.
whenever
Brawley, what's going on, man?
Hey,
We miss you
Brawley,
too,
what's
brother.
going
You get on the show anytime you want. I hope life is good with the new kid, man. Now
Yeah,
that
no
now that
doubt.
you're out of that. But West Ham looked very good, Brawley. This is Brawley from West Ham Way USA podcast. Absolutely class fella right there. You could be on the
Absolutely,
show
man.
anytime, Brawley. Just call us up.
Brawley, as soon as Brawley came on the show last year, West Ham just went down the drain.
Went down the drain.
No,
Did they?
They were in the top 4.
I thought it was the
I
other
mean,
way.
you look, given the league and everything that that it has to offer competition wise, look, top 4 was going to be tough for West Ham, but
I
top
know.
7 was not out of the question for him.
I know. But I just want to say, whenever I give a Leeds United prediction, our listeners should take notes. I didn't only give the result. I gave prediction 2-1 for West Ham.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you? You
People
said
need
Leeds
to
with the
listen.
early goal?
I don't remember if
Or
I
no?
said who scores first, but I said 2-1
Okay.
West Ham. And
Wow.
people need to take notes. You know?
I don't even
We've
listen
only-
to you, so why would I take
I
notes?
listen, Naji, I listen for the both of us because I do think
I
you have
do
a lot
the
to
edit
say.
and I put it in there and then I immediately forget.
That's how I get
yesterday-
my 55 when I get Leeds United results right.
Just
you know?
Leeds United.
Yeah. But
Hey,
here's
didn't
the
I
thing.
say that? I think I said 3-4 or something like that. But I had West
thought
Ham
you
winning by
expected-
1.
I thought you expected a very high scoring.
Yeah,
game.
I had West Ham winning by 1. though.
I had West Ham winning. I think I said 2-0. Just
Yeah.
because I didn't think with the injuries that anybody was going to be able to score.
But here's the thing.
But the shot by Rafinha was quite worldly.
There's only 2 consistent players at Leeds United right now. Rafinha, who scored his 5th goal from outside the box since 2020. He is one of 2 players that scores from outside the box, 5 goals already, which is good. And Meslier. I'm sorry. Even Calvin Phillips in that game, I would give him a 6 out of 10. You know?
Okay, I thought you were actually going to go with Calvin Phillips and Rafinha,
And then we were going to jump all
I was
over
gonna
you.
jump
and
all
go,
over you.
Meslier is having an amazing
No, I'm
season.
talking
despite the
Meslier
fact
has
they haven't won yet.
Meslier has kept them in
I'm
in
talking
these
this
matches.
season. I'm
Yeah.
talking this season.
No,
Is that-
Meslier has been class.
We're just so surprised that we agree with you.
Yeah. And then,
Although I might put Calvin Phillips ahead.
look, I don't know.
Rafinha
overall,
to
but
me-
in that game, I would say Rafinha
Fucking bastard.
was a much better.
Got him. These huge
Was a
mosquitoes.
much better performer than
Leeds
KP.
have a problem now of putting the same team on the field week in, week out. I mean, they have so many injuries, so many red cards, so many, inconsistency with the lineup. Like you would see players in and out of the lineup, and that's that's not helpful. Especially with Ailing and then Bamford and then Rodrigo's playing center forward today, and Stroke got a red card the past game. Calvin Phillips is going to play as a center back.
The lineup for Leeds was a little strange, but it is because of injury.
Yeah, Llorente got injured. He came back and then got injured again. So it's the lineup is not consistent. And I know you guys talked to James today for like an hour talking about Leeds United, but I just still have to say that. And they're struggling to score goals. They're struggling in the final third.
Yeah. To me, like, even with all of the injuries and all of the rotating staff, it's not like they're giving up 4 goals a match. They're just not scoring the 4 goals that they used to.
They're not keeping pace.
They look, if they score 2, they probably win this game. If they scored 2 early on,
they
should
definitely
have,
changes the dynamic. I think if Rafinha.
But I think it was definitely Leeds' best match so far.
It was their best half. The first half was the best.
And
I've
I think
seen them
West Ham
perform.
was thrown off and then took control in the second half.
Yeah. So,
Karen C says strange lineup, maybe, but they did well overall.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, I just to
what do we say? 10-second drop in concentration.
Exactly.
At the very end from the two young guys.
Yeah.
Um,
I thought maybe Somerville might have gotten a chance to start. Just when I looked at the lineup, and
Yeah.
if you're
I don't know if he can
at,
start on the left side.
if
though.
you're at that point where you're so injured, why not? You know what? Let's roll the dice. Let's see what this kid's got for us. Let's see if he can give us 67 minutes.
Because 40 minutes of Rafinha is better than anyone else they have.
But if Rafinha is not fit, would you not rather have that 40 minutes, 50 minutes, or 40 minutes at the half or past the half?
I don't know.
Yeah. And
Make
then-
a halftime, a second half substitution with him.
I don't
And
know.
also, Harrison didn't play the first half.
No.
No,
Harrison
he got subbed in at the
So
halftime
that's what I'm
for
saying.
Dan James.
Yeah. Well, if you guys want to hear more about our Leeds United breakdown, go ahead and watch the video that we did earlier today with James
It's
and
the State of the Union.
the state of the club, or tea time with James.
Yeah.
The Leeds United tea time hour.
Tea time with James, the Luke Guru,
The Loof Guru.
the Loof Guru.
The LUFC guru of New Orleans, baby. Now let's go on to what I think is the match of the week.
My weekend
After watching all of them,
my pick.
of course, I like the North London Derby, but
This was a
this I think was
cracker.
the best match of the
This
week.
was
Who saw that?
cracker.
Not a single
It-
one of us saw that coming.
So every score by Brentford was meant by a quick 5-6 minute score later by Liverpool, but at the end they just didn't have that fourth goal in them. Didn't quite have it, and Brentford held on with some. Giving up 3 goals doesn't say a lot for defense, but holding Liverpool to 3 and scoring 3 on your own. Oh, it was pretty.
Listen, in a match like that, giving up those 3 goals and not giving up a fourth does kind of bode well for your defending. Yes, you never say 3 goals was good, but the way Liverpool were going at them, I actually think Salah had a chance to win it, and he was a bit cocky about it. I think, and
Too
he
many
missed
chances, Salah.
too many chances.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So-
It's a head scratcher. Liverpool
Yeah.
lost 2 huge points. Huge points.
Yeah.
And they keep talking about Van Dijk, and oh my god, the goals they conceded are laughable. That second goal by Brentford, the
Yeah.
header. Oh my, could you jump? Could you outmuscle? I don't remember who scored that second goal for Brentford, but could you jump higher?
Bomo? No.
And Mbomo didn't score.
You're
The
6'5".
first one was
Yeah.
Pickard.
Anyway, they were fragile at the back. You're winning 2-1, and then you're winning 3-2, and then you're conceding and being sloppy at the back. You know what?
Panic.
That's the Liverpool of last year. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, that match has so many correlations, or it reminds me a lot of the Leeds United Liverpool match of last season.
Yes.
And
It exactly did.
Exactly.
It was back and forth, and I think Liverpool were looking a bit past it. They were looking forward to Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
I think Salah wanted to come off at 60 minutes, wanted the game to be put away. Salah, Mane, I think Klopp wanted to be able to pull some of these guys.
Yeah.
And they couldn't. They ended up being in a 98-minute
Yeah.
cracker running.
Guys,
You don't think those boys are tired?
of course. And not only they play who? Atletico, you said, right?
Yeah.
They play Man
I believe
City in the league next weekend.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So they better be ready.
Yeah.
They'll be ready.
Okay.
As ready as they can be, to play City at home,
Yeah.
Okay.
But this makes me look ahead. This makes me start going, okay, who do Brentford play next week? And I hate to say
No,
it.
you
No,
guys
we
get
play Brighton. But I'm kind of interested to see this West Ham Brentford match.
That could be good.
at London Stadium.
That
like
could be a lot of
that
fun.
could be this 3-3, 3-4. Who knows?
We do know how much West Ham likes to score 3.
score
Hey,
3
you guys-
exactly.
You guys forgetting that West Ham bought Kurt Zuma. So it's a very
Yeah,
good
and
decision.
since he's been starting, they've been giving up goals.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Anyway, we've got these all these Leeds United fans that are happy for Pontus Jansson, but still kind of are going to hate him when you play against him. You're not going to want to see him there.
Right.
And by the way, just for all of our Leeds United fans, the video that we did earlier is doing well and getting lots of views, but there have been a lot of non-Leeds United fans watching it and saying Bielsa out. But badly misspelling his name, so it's kind of laughable.
Are they spelling it with a Batman symbol again?
No, it's like Beisla, so it's like Beasla out.
Beasla out. Yeah,
And-
he's a terrible hot dog vendor
and-
at Ellen Road.
And they're like,
Do you guys even have hot dogs
Leeds-
in your stadiums? I don't know.
Leeds are in the relation zone, and I'm like, yeah,
I like
they're always in the
the
relation
relation zone was pretty
The
awesome.
highway to the
6 games,
relation zone.
guys. 6 games without winning.
Hey man, it's
Yeah.
so early in the season.
That's
Okay.
fine.
If they haven't won by Boxing Day, which I just don't see happening.
Tuchel would have been fired. Just want to throw it out there.
Yeah, I mean, Tuchel might get fired for losing to Villa or losing to City. So-
Nuno might get fired for losing as bad as he has for the
Yeah.
last 3 games.
But listen, who else hasn't won a match yet? Southampton, Newcastle, Leeds,
Newcastle,
Burnley,
Leeds,
and
Norwich.
Norwich.
Yeah.
None of them have won a match.
Yeah.
And then you have Crystal Palace, who's won one.
Yeah,
Um,
against Spurs.
but
Though.
listen, we're 6 matches in, and
Yeah,
nobody has 18 points.
As I had mentioned at on our lead show earlier today, like a win next week could bring you up 5 spots on the table. It's still very, very early. Come January, a win is maybe going to bring you up 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So don't despair any fan.
Yeah.
Any fan at all. I mean, we were just outside, and Wolves were just outside of relegation, and they won, and now they're like 13th. They went from
that's why. Like
they went from
talk
they
about the
went from-
relegation
They went
zone
from
all you want,
17th
but-
to 13th. They
Um,
won and moved up 4.
and somehow we're still talking about Leeds United when we're moving on from Brentford.
Anyway, Brentford was amazing. It was an amazing match
They're
to
fun.
watch. They're gonna be fun for the rest of the season, barring injury. That little combination up top with Tony and Mbumo.
Yeah, but look,
and that guy that they brought off the bench who scored the tying goal at the 87th minute, Wisa, he's pretty he's pretty damn good too.
yeah, and look, you hope that Brentford doesn't suffer a bit of a burnout.
They will.
Because they're still flying
They will.
high. They're
Yeah,
still flying high.
absolutely.
They're still new to every single team that they play against.
They
so,
still got City to play. They still got Chelsea
yeah,
to see.
they've got everybody.
There's
to
a
play,
lot.
So,
There's a lot of people that are
um,
going to take them down a notch.
So there's Philip. We should have beat Man U 3-0. I think this is Philip, the Villa fan, I believe, right, Philip? 5 teams yet to win a match. Jimmy, follow. We've got the best fucking team in the world. Bamford and Firpo, Rafa Rodrigo. Finally, the Yorkshire Pirlo. I guess I should have sang that. Newly promoted teams are always fun, just like Leeds last year. Yes,
Absolutely,
except for
absolutely.
Watford and Norwich.
Right.
They're just not.
But I think this year I don't think Watford goes anywhere.
But a few years ago when Norwich came up, I remember them being very fun. We were all on the
Yeah.
Pookie train.
Absolutely.
We loved Timo Pookie. He was just scoring like crazy. No one got the areola joke. Runs with cows. Yeah, where was it? I missed it. Surprised how good West Ham's keeper is, and I thought he was a bit of a tit. That's because their West Ham's keeper is Flappy Hansky, not Areola. So, former Arsenal. Wasn't good enough for is in Europe with West Ham.
Yeah.
And Chesney has been in Champions League ever since he left. So
Not bad.
there we go. And anyway, but we've got our new keeper. We've got our new keeper, the relegation machine, Ramsdale.
He's gonna break that. He's gonna break that streak.
We hope. Speaking of which, let's go to the North London derby. I know we talked about this last night, but Naji, I wanted to get your comments on this. Did you watch it? Did you see it?
You know
what are your thoughts on that?
I was so happy that West Ham that Spurs scored that goal. Like, I really didn't want it to end 3-0 because I would hear the consistency, that made my day. That goal for Spurs made my day. But anyway,
why?
Because you won 1-0, and now 3-0. Those are like, keeping a clean sheet is very important. We've done it so many times.
I don't want
Chelsea
to take it.
It gives you so much confidence, and Arsenal defense is really playing well.
What are you saying, Naji?
Arsenal
about my club?
He was very glad. He was very glad that Tottenham
scored that goal.
Scored, and you guys didn't get the clean sheet.
I was so.
I myself,
you're dead, Naji. You're dead.
I myself was looking at it as when they scored, there just seemed to be just enough time that there was a thought in my head that said,
"Look out!
Is this where it begins?
Look out!
Arsenal crumbles."
No, look.
But no,
yeah.
this to me, and I probably said it a number of times yesterday, and I just don't quite remember how I said it. But this, to me, watching Arsenal do this is a game I've been waiting to see them do the entire time. I've been learning about that squad, and it's just like, come on, you guys are supposed to be great. You're supposed to be able to do all these things. And I said last season, I was like, you guys ain't beat anybody. You guys are a bunch of scrubs. You're not as good as you think you are. And da 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 da. On this particular match, it gave me everything I wanted to see from Arsenal. Everyone working well. Everyone working well. Scoring distribution, ball movement, speed, the press.
And even when we got caught out.
And you bossed the middle. Oh, it was so good to see Partey healthy.
Harry Kane.
That.
Look,
Harry Kane. It's like stigmata or something. That's gross.
They're just huge. I just need to show them that I'm not just like a lunatic over here.
In London, they're like this big. They fly away with children. I don't know.
Look,
do you have mosquitoes in London?
Look, it's the consistency, and like you said, give Arteta credit for the consistency of the center backs, the midfielders, the forwards. They were able to put 3 teams in a row. They just maybe switched Smith Rowe with Pepe, I think, in some of the games, but it was these are the players that Arteta want to build on. But let me talk a little bit about Spurs, because Nuno went from man of the month, actually, the first month of the season, to the 3rd favorite on the hot seat today.
I look, I was not joking for our preseason predictions that these two weren't going to be prom dates.
Yeah.
And they ended up together. And it was like, well, I'm not seeing anybody. You see
Give me a minute here.
I'm not seeing anybody.
Give me a minute here, because Daniel Levy is to blame for what's happening at Tottenham right now. First of all, it took him 2 months before he appoints a manager and then ends up with Nuno. Okay, that's fine. Nuno comes in and he's playing a formation that he never played before. Like, Nuno, you used to play 3-4-3 at Wolves, and this is your formation. You come here and play 4-3-3. Well, let me tell you one thing about Spurs. They don't have 4 good defenders. Dyer is not a center back. Tanganga, I don't know. He's not a good player. And then Reguilon is a right back, but he goes forward too much, so he's not reliable at the back. They scored 4 goals in 6 games. In terms of big chances, they have one big chance created in 90 minutes. That's a new stat I have here. They created 1 big chance in 90 minutes. And Lil Naji told me to say this on the show. It's the first time in 18 years Spurs concede 3 goals in a row in the Premier League. That's Lil Naji. He reminds me that this morning.
Yeah.
He does
Wow.
stats with me. We
Lil
talk
Naji is our newest staff writer,
He's
by
the
the
other
way.
45%.
He's the other 45. Mr.
You know,
45, Lil Naji.
I'm going to point out a couple of things really quick here.
Yeah, hold on. I agree with Bobby here. That's a bit harsh on Tanganga because you didn't even go, he's a bad defender. He's a bad player. You're just straight up, he's
Right.
bad.
So here's the thing. You bring up Nuno, manager of the month, just the first month of Premier League. Do you know who manager of the month was the first month of last season? Do you know who that was?
Lampard.
It was Nuno.
Oh, what?
Was it?
It
Why?
was. And what happened to Nuno?
Why? What did he do?
They won their
first
doing
three?
very well until Raul went down.
Oh.
They were in the top, they were close to the top 7. Anyway, so there's that. There's that on Nuno. But here's something that I want to kind of point out is I think before the season began, Nuno is preparing his team for no Harry Kane.
Yeah.
And he makes his game plans and he runs his practices
Yeah.
and he does all the things. And Kane doesn't play for the first 3 games of the season. What happens? They win. Only win 1-0, but they still win. They're top of the table. Now he brings Harry Kane in, who doesn't want to be there. He's there in body, but his mind is not there. I saw some things yesterday that I was like, that's not Harry Kane. You know? So you know, you win without Harry Kane, and then you bring him in, and you lose 3 straight. And not only do you lose 3 straight, but you give up 9 goals. I'm not saying that's all on Harry Kane, but I have a feeling that Nuno planned for something else. And now he had to plan, because maybe Levy said, get him in there.
That's what
Well,
I'm saying.
if Harry Kane is there, he's playing.
I get it, but
yeah.
do y'all see my point?
I
Without
see-
Harry Kane,
yeah.
3-0,
Look,
top
and
of the table.
Yeah.
With Harry Kane, haven't won since and getting
And-
beaten pretty bad.
Harry Kane is didn't score yet, and he's missing too many chances, as we guys know. I mean, against Arsenal, that chance, you know, the lob that he had, it was like a little bit far away, but you know, he missed it. In the first 3 games, Mark, Spurs had only 17 shots on target, which is nothing. They played Watford, Wolves, and Man City. Okay, Man City. But, you know, that's not enough. 17 shots on target, that's the lowest in the Premier League.
Well, Wolves play good defense, so they
That-
held
you
how
know-
many shots did we hold Chelsea to?
No, I'm saying that they won 3 games, but we were like fake Spurs. That's not the Spurs.
Yeah.
They're not playing that well. They're winning
Yeah,
games.
of course, it's not the Spurs that you know, because it shouldn't be the Spurs you know.
You know,
That's Matino's Spurs. This is Nuno's Spurs.
how many times
Marino,
in this-
Matino, Tomato, Tommy Amato.
how many times I've said Dele Alli was overrated? He got subbed at halftime.
Yeah, he was bad.
Subbed at half-
I-
But
he was
I want to
bad.
call out Arsenal. I want to call out Arsenal players and Arteta, because after the game they acted as if they won the World Cup. Like act
The
like
North London Derby is a big deal.
And you know what? Us Arsenal fans,
act like you've been there before. Act like you've
no,
been there
because
before.
they haven't, Naji.
Yeah.
They haven't.
Well, they
It's-
need
first of all, it's been 2 years since having
it's
fans
Arsenal.
at a North
They're
London derby.
invincible.
Third of all, most of these kids weren't even born when the Invincibles happened.
He wasn't born.
Yes, I was.
I don't know.
I'm old, but these guys. But listen, Odegaard has never been there for a North London derby, like an actual one. Even these guys, Emil Smith Rowe, and Saka, they've
Yeah.
never had a
Yeah.
North London derby with a
Fans.
crowd. And you know what? We were in last place, and they're being told their coach needs to go. You shouldn't be here, Saka. You're a national treasure. You should be playing for a big club. Emil Smith Rowe.
And what
All this. So to me, look, they are our bitter rivals. They were first place for 3 weeks. We were last place for 3 weeks. This is our chance to jump them in the table. And yes, it's week 6, but you know what this means is boom, we are back. Winning 1-0 to Norwich doesn't mean we're back. It means we're back on track. Winning 1-0 to at Burnley doesn't mean we're back. It means we're back on track. Beating Spurs 3-1 in front of To me,
and
they didn't.
really,
they
they
didn't
won that
celebrate
game.
enough.
They won
for
that
me.
game in
They
the first
didn't
half.
celebrate enough for me.
Celebrating
What
like
was the
Thierry
match?
Henry.
Good.
What was
Like
the
them like
match
that.
that Arsenal
Good.
lost that Arteta made him go to the corner and like clap to like?
That was away at City.
No, it wasn't City, was it?
Yeah. We had just lost like ridiculously, and he made them go back out.
I didn't realize that, but I do remember him
You
making
told
them
me
go
that.
out. I
You
mean,
told me
they were
that,
just
yeah.
like, "Yay, yay, the fans!" But no, this look, let
And-
them
and are you
celebrate
kidding?
because this was massive. In
Arteta
front of
just
your-
bought himself like
in-
6 months.
Oh, he bought him the season.
He did.
He
He
bought
did.
himself the season. Are you
I
kidding
wanted
me?
him
It
fired, but
is.
now he did. He did.
It
No,
is
he's
the league
not
for
going
us
anywhere.
at this point, and now we can move on. And what it shows is something is working. Something is working.
I
There's
can't wait for
excitement.
next week.
There was excitement up and down the pitch and in the managerial because like Arteta jumping around like he scored every goal. It was amazing to see because normally he just
Yeah.
paces the what do we call him, the Basque Dracula, and now he didn't even like I mean, the losses were piling up and the poor games and the poor playmanship and not being fit and not being in good form piling up. We're all I can only imagine what Arteta's doing in the locker room. In this matchup, 3-0, I'm like, I don't even think Arteta knows what to do. They're playing nearly flawless in the first half.
Yeah.
I don't think Arteta. I think Arteta started yelling at them because that's what he normally does.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm gonna get a drink. You guys need anything?
Listen, we lost 3 games, and people are writing off Arsenal, talking about relegation. Like, in all seriousness, actually talking relegation. Talking, you're not going to have the same manager. So to me, yes, who said something? Don't get carried away. This Robbie.
No, you're playing
dude.
once a week too,
Yeah, and you know what I said last season? It may be for the best that we're not in Europe. You know why? Because we don't deserve it. It's like my daughter being terrible all day
at chess,
and no, at just being like if my daughter is acting up all day, or Lil Naji acting up all day, and then you take him for ice cream at the end of the day. Because that's what we've always done. Fridays we get ice cream. No, you've been a little asshole all day.
Arteta
you don't
is
get any
taking
ice cream.
Everyone out.
And
for
you know
ice
what?
cream.
Next week, you're going to tighten shit up because you want that ice cream. And remember, we're dealing with children here. These are 18, 19, 22-year-old, 23-year-old, and old man Aubameyang. So you know what? Y'all don't get that European ice cream. Y'all don't get no gelato.
Moving on.
Not until next season, boys. So that's all I'm saying. Is it the end of the season? Hell no. We got plenty of work to do. But what it means, this wasn't like just barely kind of got lucky with a bumbling goal. These goals were class. We were always in better positions. We were pulling them out of positions.
Mm-hmm.
Kane could get nothing done. So it just shows that something's going right. Now, Bukayo Saka comes out and says, we can win trophies this season. He pluralized it. But listen, it's kind of nice to hear my players.
It's showing some positivity.
Exactly. That's all I wanted.
I mean, last year,
all I've wanted is heart.
If this is what we get to talk about this season,
Exactly.
It makes it so much easier to forget like Aubameyang being suspended for the North London derby last year because he was late.
Not even suspended, just pulled.
He was pulled
by the coach.
Right, but to me, that's a suspension. That's a suspension to me.
So anyway, I'm super happy, and I was so happy that I decided Leeds United needed a full hour today. So we gave them an extra I did an extra show today because I was that happy. Still hungover.
Yeah,
Mark was even so happy for Arsenal that he stayed with me to let me continue drinking with Arsenal fans and then walked me and my bike home.
I not only watched the equipment while he was out playing darts and losing for like shots.
I spent a fortune at the bar. Oh my God, we needed more super chats to pay for that because Jesus, my tab came out.
It was triple digits for sure. All right,
Teabag,
come
it
on.
won't be the League Cup.
Let's talk.
Go on.
Let's move on here.
All right, guys. So moving on. Let's move on. I don't think we have time to go through every single other match. So Naji, Mark, and me. Let's just pick one other match that you really enjoyed, or you enjoyed the outcome, or
Si, senor.
I
Si,
can't.
señor.
Give the ball to Raul and he will score.
So you're talking Southampton Wolves, 0-1.
It was, look,
Raul scores.
it was not pretty. The score was 1-0, 0-1. It was played in Southampton. It wasn't pretty. They did listen to me when I said that, you know, that Bruno's got to tinker with the lineup, and we saw Chan start for Trincao. I did not like that. I did like Traore coming off the bench, which I talked about that. And I liked Podence in the starting lineup, but let me tell you, Podence was
He had a
awful.
stinker.
He was a stinker. The only chance he had at anything, Raul Jimenez took to the house because he was like, this is mine. And it was a pretty goal, but even more pretty was the from the assist from Jose Sa.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. And he almost did it twice.
Dude.
The second, Raul almost had a brace. So I think the seal has been cracked for the Wolves. It was a very, very, very nice game. A very great game. You know, Southampton played a great game. It was almost not that result, but I'm very happy.
Yeah.
And I got to admit, not only to see Raul score, but to see him score in front of the section that have the Wolves fans, and their response to Raul scoring, I got a little misty-eyed. And I'm not going to lie, Raul he hasn't scored in 10 months, almost 11 months.
Yeah. So let me ask you, have the floodgates open for him? Can I put Raul Jimenez in my fantasy team?
I would, because he almost had two.
Yeah.
He almost had
who do they
two.
have next?
They get like
you guys got
Castle.
Newcastle next, so yeah, Raul, throw him in there. Throw Raul Jimenez, and then you have Aston Villa, who is tough to score against, and then you have Leeds United, who are just shipping in goals right now.
And that's going to be after the international break, and I think that Leeds gets a little healthier.
I'm just gonna say one thing. Jimenez's goal was magical. It was like worth waiting for it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. The fact that he was able to muscle his way, that shows me he's not afraid of contact.
And I'm just gonna save time in case you want to ask what was the best goal of the week. That was Jimenez's goal.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was amazing. You know.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
For
like
me,
individual. Yeah, I mean, anytime your keeper gives you the assist as well, like we can't.
He had a lot to do though. You know.
He still had a lot to do. Yeah. But then I think that goal definitely.
Yeah. Saw Saints with their pants down on that.
He showed his skills. I mean, he showed everything in that goal.
Yeah.
He's back.
All right, fellas. So I want to just discuss something that we kind of cannot get away from. And it's this one. Man United losing to Aston Villa. I think we all enjoyed that. I think we all enjoyed seeing that. I definitely did because I started Emi Martinez, my favorite keeper.
Oh, my God. He's my favorite keeper now just because of the stick that he gave Cristiano
now, if you guys,
and Bruno Fernandes.
If you guys aren't used to seeing Emi Martinez in the penalty position, going up against penalties.
He did the same thing in the Copa America.
He did it to Yerry Mina. He did it to every single one of the Ecuadorian players. Was it Ecuador?
I think
Colombia. But he goes up. In case you guys missed it, Bruno Fernandes comes up to take the penalty, and Emi Martinez points at Ronaldo and says, "You take the penalty. You take it. You take it. I want you to take it. Come on. What? You don't want to take the penalty?" Meanwhile, Bruno Fernandes, that's getting in Bruno's head. Ronaldo's like, "Why don't we listen to this guy? He's got a good point." and then he's dancing on his line like that, doesn't have a care in the world. And this is what I always say. A lot of keepers stand there so nervous. Okay, which way? Emi Martinez is going, "I'm not supposed to save this."
Emi's ripping bong before he gets in his line.
He's like, the pressure's all on you. If I even get a hand to it and it goes in, they're going to say, "Well, he did good." Or if I go the way, they go, oh, the penalty taker sent him the wrong way.
Yeah. There's
Like he's got
no
nothing to
pressure on a
lose.
keeper. That's
So
like
Emmy Martinez.
gravy.
Philip says, I love Emmy. He's becoming my favorite keeper of all time. I think he's there. Just I could watch him do penalties all day long. And then the fact that Bruno skied it, that's a head thing. That's
Yeah,
all.
But Bruno was skying shots all day long.
I'm sorry, from the spot.
No, it's
He
true.
doesn't miss. He doesn't
missed-
miss.
Oh, wow, he misses.
He missed 2 out of 23 that he took with Man United.
Yeah.
You know, this is his second. But guys, this is, Ole, he always complains about, Liverpool is getting more penalties than us. He's always talking about penalties. You know that Man United, since Ole got appointed, they got 9 more penalties than any other team in the Premier League.
United
more
always
penalties.
gets the call.
Yeah.
Do you remember last year where the
Okay.
final whistle blew and then they
No.
brought him back out to shoot the penalty?
Exactly. I need a minute here for my rant. I need a minute.
Okay, man.
You got it.
You got it, pal.
Yeah,
Ready? Go.
That's 3 losses in 4 games for United. And since Ole took over, they have lost 18 trophies so far between the Champions League, the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, the league. 18. They had 18 trophies to win. They haven't won nothing. In
Getting
2018,
devoured.
when he was appointed, they finished 32 points
That's okay.
behind Man City. In 2019, they finished 33 points behind Liverpool. And last year, they finished 12 points before Man City. If you ask the fans, they want him fired today. But the board will not fire Ole for some reason. I don't know what it is. Maybe he's too friends with the players. Maybe they like him. But the fans want him out. Man United players are lacking motivation. The team is not balanced. And he got awful substitutions. Cavani comes on in the last 10 minutes. They need him to score a goal. They need to score a goal, but they get him in the last 10 minutes, not 20, 10. I don't feel bad for them. I don't feel bad. And
Yeah,
you know
but
who they got?
Cavani's not fit.
Okay, today is September 27th. Okay, and I'm going to read this because these are the fixtures Man United have until November 6th. I wrote them down. Villarreal in the Champions League, Everton, Leicester City, Atalanta in the Champions League. Very tough team. Then they go to Liverpool, Spurs, Atalanta again in the Champions League, and then they got City. This is in a month.
Yep.
In a week that they need to play these games. Good luck.
Yeah. But I ask you this again. Ollie out. Who replaces him? Right now,
Yeah, I got the answer.
Conte.
I got the answer. This is not like Arsenal. This is a team that is ready to win right now. They have the players. Rashford is injured. If he comes back, man, Rashford is an excellent player. Ronaldo, Sancho, they got Sancho, Varane. They have the players. There is no excuses. If Conte comes in, I'm done. They win the league right away.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think Ollie goes anywhere.
Yeah,
And
I
not
don't
at
either.
least not this season.
I
Look,
said-
we spent all the money, we got all the things, we got let's give it some time to gel, because I want to say this: last season, at the beginning, Chelsea buys all these players, and it doesn't work right up front, and we were saying that they'll never have time to gel. Well, we know what happened with Chelsea. Granted, they did fire their manager. They had someone excellent to replace Frank. I
Yeah.
don't see anybody that's going to come in and replace Ollie
Yes.
mid-season if it goes to shit.
Because the board
Big Sam.
because the
Big
board is
Sam.
siding with Ole. The board is siding with
Yeah.
Ole. But all the fans, like Man United fans, and I watch and I YouTube and I talk to Man United fans, they all don't like Ole. They want him out.
Yeah. You think Ronaldo wants him there? You think Ronaldo has confidence in him?
Ronaldo's going to be coaching that team soon.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, he should be the penalty taker. I'm sorry. Fernandez had nothing to do with that penalty.
No. Listen, and everyone was waiting for the first United penalty to see what the choice would be, and we saw it, and we all go, and Ronaldo's there just like, and in Ronaldo's head, you know what he's thinking, right?
I left Juventus for this.
He's thinking, why on earth would you have statistically probably the best penalty? I don't know if he is. I don't know what they are statistically, but he rarely misses.
Yeah.
And he's standing there.
I was surprised. I'm surprised.
And you lose?
I'm surprised, but not surprised. I mean, Fernandez has been their penalty kicker or their penalty taker.
There you go, Con.
But that was before they had Ronaldo.
Yeah.
And Ronaldo doesn't miss.
Yeah.
We fire legends. At our club, we fire legends. We don't care.
You fire legends' mothers. You're like, you're fired. I don't even play for you. I don't care. You're fired.
There you go. Bring Rooney in.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Is that really the answer?
Yeah, have Rooney managing Ronaldo. That would be fantastic. Bring it on. Bring it on. Send them into administration.
They're going to have more problems now with Rashford coming back.
Oh, absolutely. It's an embarrassment of riches right now, and that was the whole thing with Frank Lampard. It was going, no. It's kind of better that you don't sign multi-million billion-dollar teams because you'd rather him fail with lesser players, because if he fails with everybody, then
exactly.
Not sure what's going on between Fred and Ole, but there is something going on for him to keep playing Fred all the time.
I think it's not. I don't think there's a choice.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, so let's just look over let's burn through these. Leicester City still can't win a match. What is going on with them? They score Vardy with a hat trick, but one was an own goal. I'm not sure. A shameful, but a beautiful header.
It was.
3 goals that
Everton get an easy win against Norwich. They may just survive being without Dominic Calvert-Lewin just long enough, because as bad as Everton are, they're 5th place right now. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, because I know he didn't play last week.
But listen, Everton are one of the teams sitting there with 13 points, so tied for second. You know, if we're not talking goal differential, 1 point out of first, and they have not, to me, they haven't been that impressive, but they keep getting these wins. But have they had the same strength of schedule as Chelsea? No, they've had a lot easier teams.
You know,
Watford draw with Newcastle, 2 teams that look good for a while and then just can't get right. Brentford, Liverpool, Southampton, Wolves, and then we go all the way. The only one we didn't mention, Crystal Palace, Brighton.
We mentioned that in the start, and I was really surprised that drew. I thought that match was over, but I want to go back to Leicester City and Burnley. Vardy played fantastic. They still can't. They haven't won in a while. Our very own Cantac, Mr. Cantac, came on our chat during that time frame and said that the bloom is off the rose bush for Leicester, for the Foxes. Do y'all agree with that? Because I don't. I think they're still a very good team that's just hitting a rough patch.
It happens.
I think that's still a very, very good team. Are they top 4 good? No. Are they top 7 good? Maybe. They're definitely top half of the table good. That's all I got.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think they'll pull things together.
But those 2 goals by Vardy were typical Vardy goals, man. This guy.
They were classic.
Oh yeah. And he's what? 53?
And he's going to continue to score goals and smoke cigarettes. I want to answer Philip's question because he's been very patient this entire show, and then we just glossed over Aston Villa, and we only talked about Emi Martinez. But look, let's see where Aston Villa are in the table right now.
You know what?
They are 8th place with 10 points. They had I believe they had a rough start to their campaign.
I
EFL.
love Aston Villa. I love the midfield. You know, John McGinn is a machine in the middle there.
Jesus.
I have them. I have them finishing 6th this year.
It's like
Okay.
that first match of the season.
The first match was
Chelsea.
No.
Nope.
Yep.
No.
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 Who was it?
Aston
These are
Villa
all-
played Everton on the 16th.
Oh no, here we go. This one they played Watford. I think they lost to Watford first match.
Yeah, they lost the first
And
game.
then they beat Newcastle.
That's not.
No, this is Watford right here. These are all
Those are the
preseason.
preseason.
So
Season
they
started that
lost
early,
to
huh?
Watford.
We were all shocked when they lost to Watford. The
Yeah,
first game of the
3-2,
season.
rough go.
Yeah.
And then they win 2-0 Newcastle, and then they drew with Brentford. They lost to Chelsea, and then they've won since then. They beat Everton, who is clearly a good side, but they beat them 3-0.
Yeah.
The only loss that Everton has had, and then Everton drew with Leeds.
Yeah.
But but listen, Brentford are a better side than we thought. So that 1-1 draw isn't as bad as it looked at the time. I think really it's the loss to Watford that's killing them.
But then again, that's Watford at home in front of
First
fans.
match,
First match
of the
after
season.
after spending the season prior down.
Yeah.
You know, they're excited. They're going to
excited.
play out of their heads, and they played much like the same way that Brentford played against Arsenal at home and against Liverpool at home. You know,
Yep.
You're supposed to win at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to say, you know, when we were talking who won the transfer window, and I said it was Aston Villa. I think they got really great money for an academy kid, Jack Grealish, and they spent it right away, and they spent it well. And look, Danny Ings has been fantastic, but Leon Bailey, the reggae boy,
yeah,
he's going to be good.
The only problem, though, is
Emi Buendia.
Both all those signings are on the last year of the contract.
Yeah. Buendia,
So all those transfers, that's it. They get them for 1 year.
Guys, I don't know if you realize, but Buendia haven't been starting, so they have a lot of good players. You know, he comes
and
off the bench.
neither
now.
has Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey hasn't been starting either.
Yeah,
so
because
they have good players off the bench. Yeah,
you got Ollie Watkins and Ings up front. You know, they
I like that combination.
They complement each other very well. Ings can play with the right, with the left. He could track back because, you know, he played with Southampton before, so he used to track back and help the defense, you know. And so he plays for the team. You got John McGinn, he's awesome. Luiz, the Brazilian guy, also
Douglas Luiz,
Douglas Luiz, he's tough. And then you got the three in defense: House,
Mings,
Konsa, and Mings, the captain.
House,
And then you got Matty Cash. Man, that guy runs like crazy. And then you got Martinez, one of the best goalkeepers this year.
Yeah.
So Villa
Target missed a real.
I have Villa finishing 6th this year, you know.
Yeah. They're good. Well, Bobby's got a point. Hazing's been fantastic. He started off fantastic. But he's been a good signing. He's been a very good signing for him, especially because nobody thought he was available.
Yeah.
And he just got him.
They will rely on his goal. He's gonna score goals.
Yeah, and he's gonna score goals. But listen, is that John McGinn is on the team as well?
Yeah,
John McGinn, my favorite
7.
little. That dude, him and Matty Cash run their asses off. They never stop running.
Yeah.
They're little like bricks. Yeah, little.
They're like piranhas. They just take little bites out of you.
I think Aston Villa is a tough ask for any team going in. They're gonna lose matches, but I think they're gonna be in every single match.
Yep.
So
Yep.
and
That's
they're gonna make it.
That's a team you see on the fixture that you're going, ugh. We have to play Aston Villa.
Yeah. So good night, Runs with Cows. Good night, everybody. That's gonna be it for the show for
Just
tonight.
one thing. You can book 2 things for next week: a Chelsea win and an Ole rent.
All right.
Okay.
Well, stay tuned for next week.
Put those in the books because those
we might even have to make a little banner for Naji that says Naji's rant.
Naji's Oli rant. Hey, and you know, if they get popular, maybe you get your own show on the Stoop, and we do every week we do a 1 hour Naji rants about Oli. I think Ollie is renting out a little bit too much space
I
in your
think
head,
so, and he's
Naji.
not a very good
I
tenant.
don't like
And
him, man.
God forbid
I'm
Chelsea
sorry.
lose to Man United.
I won't show
'Cause
up.
that's going to be a good
Oh
show.
my
That's
God.
going to be a good show, but
Let's
Naji
just-
may not be
we're
there.
just gonna like. There you go, Naji.
But thank you guys so much for joining us for a lot of you guys for the second time today. But don't forget to hit that like button. It's very important. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit the share button. Let somebody know that you watch this crazy show with these dudes who sit out on a stoop and get mosquito bites and
That's
yell
it.
at people walking
That's-
down the street.
That's it.
Um,
And you know, also if you had a question for us, you had a comment for us, and we weren't able to get to it, go to our website, join the discussions. We'll be right there with you. We read them every day. We comment, and hey, we even give our 2 cents worth to Mr. Tom and his NFL handicap.
Yeah, exactly. So so stick with us, keep coming back, and we will see you guys tomorrow for the fantasy football show, and then we'll be back on Thursday with our weekend watch list
then
and
we do it
Friday
all
happy
over
hour.
again.
And just in case you guys don't hear from me on Wednesday, that's my birthday. So if y'all want to send me some birthday wishes, Wednesday's the time.
We'll get a bunch of people and give them the bumps.
So I would say for my birthday, y'all can all watch the weekend watch list on Thursday and share it. That would be fantastic for me.
That would be awesome.
But love you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Naji, always a pleasure.
Thank you, Naji. Peace.
See you guys.
Peace from Brooklyn, y'all.
When you think